Hi guys, welcome to FTM Transtastic. I'm Emil, and I feel like I'm really blue. Anyway, this week's topic is hate within the trans community, and I'm sorry for being in the low quality situation, but I have to film this video really quick because I'm going away tomorrow for something that is sort of a surprise. I guess you'll see next week, or on my personal channel, or on my Instagram, whatever. Anyway, the topic. Although it's a really exciting surprise, but anyway, the topic. Yeah, so hate within the trans community. There is definitely a lot of hate in the trans community. If you have somehow avoided it, there's people fighting over a lot of different things. It certainly does not only have to do with one thing. It has to do with a lot of things. It has to do with words, and it has to do with definitions, and it has to do with activism. It has to do with a lot of things. And I do understand to an extent, and this is just my own personal opinion, but I mean, I do understand to an extent that we have to be mindful of each other within this community, and obviously we have to call out things that we see that are really problematic, but I think we only have to call out the things that are truly problematic, you know? I think that in some cases it seems that a lot of effort and energy is being put into fighting within our community when there is a huge fight, a much bigger fight to be had, you know, outside of our community, or I mean in terms of our community versus like the rest of the world that's basically ignoring us or oppressing us, or you know, I mean, trans people still don't have like the rights that we need in all places. We don't have the things that we need. We don't, I mean, people still do not know enough about trans people in the world, and we need them to. Trans people are still being murdered and beaten up and bullied and generally just not understood and being disowned by their families because they are trans. My god. I'm so tired. But yeah, like there's these huge issues that have to do with just trans people being accepted overall, and I feel like a lot of the fights that are being had within the community are just really unnecessary, at least at this point in time, and I personally don't put any effort into engaging in those fights. I don't even think they are discussions. They're not civil discussions. I've seen, you know, just fights and people refusing to understand each other, people refusing to come to some kind of common ground, and people refusing to respect other people, and people just focusing on these things that I personally really don't think that we need to focus on, at least not at this point in time. I think right now our fight is with just getting rights and surviving as a community, and trying to thrive the best we can in spite of the world that we live in, and trying to make the rest of the world understand us. So I don't think that we should spend time on hating within our community. I definitely think that we should discuss. I definitely think there are discussions to be had about what words we should use for, you know, for ourselves and for this and that. I definitely think we can have discussions about how to move forward with our activism and about all those kinds of things. I definitely think we can have discussions about all kinds of things, but that's the key word, discussions, not fights. I don't think we should fight. I think it's completely unnecessary to fight within our community because we need to stand strong together. We need to stand strong together as trans people and even as LGBT plus people. We need to stand together because we are stronger together. And I mean, the more people we are, the harder we can fight. The more of an impact we can have when we fight for our rights and for our, equal treatment and for people to understand us. I think we need to stand together and bond together through our, even in spite of or through our differences or whatever. I think that's the fight we need to take now. That's my view on it. But as I said, I definitely think that we need to call out problematic things that people say. I definitely think we should always be striving for knowledge and for our community to not be stagnant in its knowledge and in its ideas. I definitely, of course, we need to develop, but we should develop and keep going forward with discussions and with enthusiasm for new ideas and new concepts, and respect for everyone within our community, and not through fighting and hating on each other. Because honestly, we get enough hate as it is from outside of our community. We don't need it from inside of our community as well. That's what I think. Yeah, as I said, I don't really engage in any of these discussions. I don't think these are, fights. I don't really engage in any of these fights. It's not something that I'm interested in, and so I probably will not be debating this in the comments, just so you know. I do tend to read most of the comments, if not all of them, at least the ones that I get in the beginning, but just so you know, I'm not interested in debating my personal views on this topic. Yeah, I think I've said everything I want to say. Sorry if I come off a bit harsh. As I said, I'm just kind of really tired and I have to rush this video. But yeah, if anyone is wondering, I'm doing really well healing from top surgery. I'm like 3.5 weeks post-op, I guess. This Thursday I was 3 weeks post-op. It's really exciting. Everything's like going really well. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen pictures and stuff. I'll put my Instagram name in the description if I remember. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. Yeah, I hope you've had a nice week. I hope you will have a nice week, and I will see you next week. Yeah, alright, love you guys, bye.